How's everybody doing? I am going to try and cover this a little bit. This is my 16th scale RC conversion of the ERTL John Deere log skidder. I started this project about 16 months ago. I got to a point with it that I got frustrated. I went a certain direction with certain axles and transfer cases and a bunch of other attempts and got frustrated with it. Took the whole thing, threw it in a box, and about, I want to say 2 weeks ago, I pulled it back out of the box and I said to myself, we're going to get this done. And minus a few decals that I want to get done on it yet, I'm going to classify it as done. It started out as this exact same model as this right here, and this is the finished product when I got done. I'm going to take this, set it out of the way. Now, if anybody wants to ask how much it costs, are you going to build, would you be willing to build more? The answer is no, absolutely not. This is going to be a one and done situation. Not going to build anymore. If somebody has plans on building one, I may provide some guidance. But other than that, this is mine. Going to go in my collection. I have no intentions of selling it for no amount of money. Just due to the fact that this thing has taken me so long to build that, and I'm pretty proud of it. I'm going to try and do a few demonstrations on what it'll do and whatnot. I'm going to flip it up here, and I have built, these axle tubes are aluminum. The front axle does oscillate. It's rigid in the center, other than the steering, just like it is on the real toy and as it is in real life. These tires I purchased online from Chucky's Puller Specialties, I think it is. They're actually 35.5, 32 forestry tires. The rims I custom built for the tires. I've added a winch here. Winch is powered by a high-tech 360 servo. The steering is a hot Hexfly 25 kg servo. The blade lift is done with a Hexfly 25 kg servo. The motors that I used are the 25 millimeter gear motors. They are 100 RPM. And it seems to work fine. I'll go through that when we do the demonstration on some of what it can and can't do. I didn't put any lights in it. I didn't put a sound kit on it. How do I want to say it? I haven't done it yet. I might. The nice thing is I've only used 4 channels of the radio and 4 channels of the receiver, so I have 2 open channels, so I can and even put just a beacon on the battery port. That way it's just flashing. I do like to do that, put a beacon on some of this stuff. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a forestry unit have a beacon on it. Not to say there isn't, but I've never seen one. And figured I've never seen any with leading lights. Well, you're crashing through the trees. You're going to break the lights off, and that's getting to the real versus the RC world. So I'm not going to cross over too much there. But let's get her started. Make sure all my switches are where they belong. And I'm using a FlySky FST6, a radio, and the matching receiver. I've actually taken and opened up, these used to be like engine panels here. It looked like an engine. I did away with that just to make room for all the stuff. Okay. My switch is there. I'm powering it with an Ovonic 3S 2200 mAh, milli, whatever you want to call it, 2200 battery, compact battery. Fits in there really nicely. And I can open up the other side to put the battery in and out. It's actually pretty easy. Taking all that simulated stuff out of there has opened that whole hood area up here to make plenty of room for my ESC. I'm using a Hobby Wing Quick Run 1060 and the FlySky receiver, the 6-channel receiver, is all underneath the hood here, as well as the battery. Everything's underneath there. The steering servo, I actually went and mounted in the back frame. It sits right in here. I actually went from the underside, machined it out to fit it in there, and bolted up nicely. And I'm running 2 push rods, one from each side, on the lever to help with the steering. I have the blade right there. Now, does it have plenty of power to pull anything? Well, I'm just going to hold on to it. Yes, it does have power to pull. As far as the winch goes, I've got that on the other lever here. And what I used for the winch cable, rope, I actually used a bowstring for a bow. And this is a 10th scale hook from, like, off-road stuff and whatnot. And took and folded it over, shrink tubed it with the adhesive shrink tubing. So that should stick and hold just fine. This is just the 5-pound weight. I'm going to take up the slack here. Five-pound dead weight. It'll actually pull it right up. So it's got plenty of power in the winch. Now, I do have an 8-pound weight over here, just for fun. We'll see if it'll do it. And before you say, hey, did you borrow your wife's weights? No, these are actually mine. I had a shoulder injury from a motorcycle accident about 4 years ago, and I used them to do my, what do you want to call it, rehab. I am going to back the machine up here a little bit because this might get a little crazy if I remember right. I tried this earlier. Yep, the winch will pick it up and it'll drag it. I don't think I'll ever pull, even if I get sticks that are 4 foot long and dimensional to scale, they are never going to weigh as much as this 8-pound weight. I'm going to loosen that back up a little bit. Give me some slack. I did put a pin hitch back here. I'm regretting the decision now, because I have a feeling when I start pulling some logs in here, it's going to catch on the hitch and not actually lift them up. So I may end up taking that off, which it's just bolted to the back. It's no big deal. But and then when I want to just transport it, keep the cable. Well, after I remove that hitch, I'll have no place to hook it. So we'll see how that goes. And if it dangles there, no big deal. But otherwise, it's got plenty of power. It won't really lift the front wheels or off the ground with the blade until you take and put some forward force to it, and then it'll spring the front end up. But it's not really, a log skidder is, to me, is not really intended to dig in dirt. It's intended to push logs around, clear a path in front of you, that type of thing. It's never really intended to do any blading or bulldozing. That's why I got dozers. Now, I don't want to run it off the edge of the table. That would make me kind of upset. Especially as many hours as I've actually put into this thing. But that bowstring works really good. It's about like 80 thousandths diameter bowstring. Super tough, super durable. I've even contemplated putting some wax on it to kind of help it from fraying and whatnot. That's what guys do in the sportsman's world, I guess, is put wax on it. That's basically to keep them from fraying. Also may help it from getting stuck together in here. Actually, I had a guy recommend chapstick. Just plain chapstick. Works just fine. So, but, well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not... I've had to set the stops on the steering because these tires are pretty big, and when it gets to articulating, if I let it steer the whole way, they will rub. But I'm pretty happy with the 100 RPM motors. Pretty scale-wise. I mean, it does go a little bit fast, but my next choice down was like 50 RPM. These are actually 98 RPM motors from Servo City, is what I ended up using. The next step down for them is 56 RPM. I think the 56s give me more power, yet would slow it way down. May not be... These will work just fine. And if I'm worried about the top speed, set your endpoints. It's real easy. But I'm just super happy that it does have plenty of power. And it does weigh quite a bit. I was hoping to get a scale and put it on a scale and see what it would weigh, but haven't gotten to that point yet. So, but, well, that is pretty much my John Deere log skidder conversion. Pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover. So I'll get this video posted up, and if you like what you see, remember to like the video, subscribe to the video, and hey, if you're a Facebooker, click on the link on my main page. It's right up there in the corner, so of the banner. So anyway, there it is. Actually decaled it as a 740. The heater's kicking on. It's supposed to get down to 20 degrees tonight here, so it's going to be cold in the morning. So anyway, there it is. If you got any questions, ask. But pretty much it is what it is. And you guys have a good one.